Hey guys, how you doing today? It's me, Kelly. So I'm just coming on. I'm just gonna draw. I'm gonna draw like a little teddy bear for a canvas that I'm making. And I just sit and I was just drawing different things. So I'm gonna pick up a piece of paper. Hope you guys are doing good. It is raining here and miserable. That's my Justy J that I did. I don't know. It kind of looks like Khloe Kardashian. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Did I use all the paper up? This is all I do is I sit and draw and sketch, and maybe I did. How does that happen? Maybe I'll do it this way. Oh my gosh. Does anybody else do this, or is this just me? I swear I had to sit in here so I could draw. Maybe I'll just do on the back, because it'll be glued down on my background anyway. I hate wasting paper, and I hate wasting supplies. So I love doing the odd girls, that I do. I love doing it. So this is kind of going to be a play on that. This is just a regular piece of mixed media paper. You can use printer paper, lined paper. You can get notebook paper. You can get a notebook. You can do whatever kind of paper you have. Watercolor, goes on and on and on. Because school's starting now and they're having a lot of sales. Get yourself some notebook paper, or a notebook if you can't, you don't want to spend the money on a mixed media or whatever kind of tablet, and sit and sketch and do all that. If that's kind of what you want to do. I love buying I have too many tablets. Too many tablets. So I'm going to draw. I'm going to do two eyes here. I'm going to do them like this. I'm not going to be too on point on if they're even or not, because it's meant to be a little bit of a weird looking thing. So we'll see. We'll see how it comes out. I'm going to do that. And then like that. And these are the eyes that I'm doing. Go like this. Make this his body. And then give him little feet. All right. And then I want to give him I want it to be like a bear. I never want to do this. Gotta erase this. Somebody asked me about this, being able to erase with this, with having RA and everything and fibro. And honestly, I don't know why I like this so much. It works for me because the way I can hold it, because of this little divot. I got this in a art box. The eraser's name, or what it has on there, is KUM. So, I mean, if you Google that, maybe you'll be able to find it. If I get a chance and remember, I'll try to Google it and find it. But it just falls into my hands really good. I'm not happy with the way it erases all the way. As you can see, it kind of leaves a yellow. I like my rubber eraser and my other eraser that I love that I can't find right now because it's amongst all this. But I'm going to see if they have any more of these, because I don't know what it is. I think that it's this ball end right here where it sits because it relieves some of the pressure. I don't know. I like it though. It doesn't erase as much as I wanted to, but it's comfortable for my hands. So lately I've not been feeling very well, and so my hands are really bad and everything like that. So I've been kind of using that the past few days. But use whatever you have. So I'm going to give him hands, arms. Let's see. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see about that one. And what kind of ears do I want to give him? Maybe I want to... All right, maybe I'm... Okay. Maybe it won't be a bear. Maybe it'll be something else. Let's see. Let's work with it here. These, I'm going to bring in just a little bit. See the... Yeah, it's not... erasing like I wanted to. And I'm using the Derwent Sketching Dark Wash. It's the thing that I grabbed. I actually thought it was the fantastic pencil that I just got in a random act of kindness from my lovely lady friend. And I thought I picked it up, but maybe I have it in my other drawing thing. Because I've been drawing a lot, so, you know. But I'm going to move these in just a little bit more. And I'm going to make them a little bit more bigger. A little bit more bigger. Yeah, kind of like that. And then a little nose. I'm just going to do... And I don't care that it's off. These are great to start with because you don't have to worry about being on point. You know, a lot of you write me and, you know, for drawing your first faces and all that, a lot of people get upset over, upset themselves over the fact that their eyes don't match. One's bigger than the other. One's too far apart, this and that. And I totally understand that because I do that myself sometimes. That's why I always try to tell you guys, erasing is okay. Erase. It does not matter. You can see, I mean, it's a mess. This is what I do. I sit in my living room and I draw up these different ideas and all this kind of stuff, which you'll be seeing coming soon. Matter of fact, I just almost am done with this. Almost. I want to highlight the light, the word. She could no longer deny, and I got to put the, because I wrote in here soul, but I want to do the there, and I completely forgot. But this is almost done. I'm going to highlight that. And kind of just play a little bit, you know, a little bit more on her eyes, just a little bit here and there, and then she's going to be up for sale. I have quite a few things listed, up for being listed. I just have to, Etsy changed the way that they do things. When I was on Etsy before, I used to sell on Etsy all the time, and when you put things up, you didn't have to have all the description stuff. You know, I understand why you need description stuff because you know, if people are finding you on Etsy, and a lot of that's happening to me, but they don't know exactly what I do, or they're looking at the painting or what have you. They want to know the size and all that, and I totally understand it. But I have a way, and maybe it's because I'm weird, but I like to take all my pictures. I like to upload them. Well, when I do that, Etsy will not let me save them as not published yet, so I can go back and put all the stuff on. I have to do everything one at a time. So I have to upload this. I have to go through all the statistics, all the da-da-da-da, all that, the price and everything, and put that up. So that takes about a half hour of my time. So it's very annoying, where before I could just take all the pictures, upload them, and then sit at my computer and do it. It's just a little different now. But she's getting there. Like I said, I got to put I got to find my thinner marker for in there. And just a little bit of touching up here and there, and she's going to be done. And I love her. It didn't take that much. This is the background I did the video on. And this is our little girl that we did the video on. And I love it. So simple. And the background is a mixed media background, but it's not using paper or anything like that. So I'm going to try to remember my best to link up, and so you guys can see the background, because it's really, really great background for anything, whether you art journal or paint or whatever you do. It's really great. So very excited for that one. I'm going to work on that later. But a lot of people really beat themselves up over the faces and all. So I love doing the odd girls. And you can find those videos as well. And I love doing these little animals because nothing has to be spot on. It's supposed to look odd. So you can really just go with it and, you know, enjoy what you do. And I'm going to give him his little mouth. And, you know, so it's, I don't know. I just find it so much funner. More funner. And I'm going to give it a little tongue saying hello. Okay. And then we're going to do it very lightly so I can just see. We're going to have some whiskers. And then the eyeballs. All right. So I'm going to, normally I would cut this out and then add it to my background, but I think I'm going to paint on here and then take it out, you know, do that kind of thing. What color do I want to do him? Let me try some burnt sienna. I'm loving the darker colors, I think, because I'm wishing for, this is just burnt sienna. I'm wishing for the, for fall to come. Yep, cannot wait. It's miserable here now. I'm not gessoing. So, and because I'm painting on here, I'm not going to worry too much of being spot on. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just kind of, because I can always cut it out and, you know, firm it up. But I'm putting this in like this, and then I'm going to do a little lighter. Might not have been the best to use this big brush, but let's continue on. Perhaps some white to kind of lighten this color up a bit. Just put a little bit of white there. And there you go, is your Bambi brown color, basically. Isn't that funny? It's one of my favorite colors. All right. I'm just going to do like this because I can trace it after to firm it up. Now you can color this, draw this, color it with markers, color it with, you know, anything that you want to color it with that you have at home. You don't have to do spot on, you know. Add a little bit of water to this on my brush and go in here to the face. And I'm going to make it darker. I'm just kind of going to lay over. And this does become your gesso. Now, very excited because I'm starting, probably be next week, but I'm starting a, I don't want to say it's a series, but I'm going over, I've been writing down and I'm going over a lot of the videos that I have made on making your own art products and using this and that. And because I get a lot of requests to make art products, or I'll mention it in a video. So I'm going to do the whole thing. I'm going to do making our own modeling paste or molding paste, whatever way you call it. And all kinds of good fun stuff that you can get from the dollar store. I mean, it's going to be good stuff. Now I got that. Really got to clean my area up. Now remember, if you're working on any other kind of paper, this is mixed media paper, it's not watercolor paper. So the more you kind of scrub it back and forth like I do, the more it's going to kind of come up, you know, like peel a little bit, as they say. Pill, whatever word. I say peel, you say pill, we're good. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to take a little bit more of my burnt sienna on my little brush. I'm going to go in on the outside, kind of line it. Let's see. It is pouring here. Which everybody needs the water. So I'm not really complaining about that. It's just makes me hurt so bad, so much worse than it's been. I was going to go to the hospital yesterday because I was in such pain. I don't know what the heck is going on with me. But all I wanted to do was, we had to run to the shelter to pick up the cats. They got fixed. And when we got there, they were still asleep. And they wanted to know if we would just come back. So we, like 45 minutes. But I was so sick, I didn't even want to go do that. My husband was just going to go pick them up. But then I felt bad because I didn't want him to have to do it because it's not his, you know, it's my thing that I do. But my daughter drove us, which was wonderful. Because neither one of him or I have been feeling great. She hasn't been feeling great either, but she's really helpful that way. She'll drive us, and plus she loves driving. She goes for her license to drive by herself in December. She's doing really good. Sometimes little mistakes here and there, but I always tell her you're going to learn. You know, you learn as you do it. No, nothing, not major mistakes, just little things that you learn. So I'm very proud of her. So she does, she runs us around and that kind of stuff, which makes me feel sometimes very old. But it is great. And yesterday it was good. It was fantastic. My husband wasn't feeling good. I wasn't feeling good, so she drove. So it's nice to just sit back and kind of be chauffeured around. I'm not going to lie. All right, and you can go outside the lines if you're doing, you know, if we're going to cut it anyway. Take a little bit more of that in there, just to add a little bit of dimension, a little lighter in there. And we could touch all that up after. I'm not going to worry about it too much. I am going to take a little bit of white. You know what? I'm going to use light pearl. I'm going to use light pearl in the traditions. Let's see what this is like. And I'm going to touch up some of those. Ooh, that's pretty. Can you guys see? Well, maybe if I don't stick it up your nose. I don't know if you guys can see. It's very pretty. I'm just going to take a little bit on my brush. Now remember, you can use this as your palette here to mix colors or whatever you want to do. I'm just going to kind of scrub this in. That's why my brushes look like they do, because I kind of scrub. Just to add a little bit of something, something. I'm going to add a little bit, just like little highlights almost, that when you look at it, it's like, oh, is that a little, you know, a little shiny? Add a little bit in the ears. I'll probably add pink in there, but it won't hurt with the layers. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse off my brush and I'm going to go for, I haven't touched the arms yet because I'm not quite sure what I'm doing there yet. If I'm doing arms, probably, but I don't know. But right now I'm going for just some Traditions titanium white, giving it a little shake. And I'm taking it on my brush and I'm just going to go in my eye. Giving a nice coat of that because we gotta decide what color eyes we're doing. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to put white here on the hands. And what I'm going to do is make it like a circle here. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but it's going to act like my gesso in a sense, but it's going to, I'm going to use that brown again, and it'll mix in here a little lighter because that's kind of what I want. But, and I'm also going in the nose, even though the nose will be pink, but I want that to stick out. And it's crooked a little bit, and I don't care. And then his tongue, because that will, of course, be a different color too, but it's all good. And I'm going to tap in there, and I'm going to use my finger and just kind of give a little highlight. And then a dot in each ear, same thing, little highlights. Remember, it's supposed to be a little odd looking. So don't forget, don't get hung up. All right, I'm rinsing my brush off, but while everything else is drying, I'm going to take my burnt sienna again on my brush, just a little bit, and I'm going to just kind of rub that in. You can see it gets a little whiter, lighter than the body, which is kind of what I want. I just love having all these different colors there. Just rubbing them in. Now, I'll just kind of rub. I'll go in with the darker paint again after I get everything else done. Just rubbing and blending. Take a little bit more of my dark and kind of run it down like that. little darker right there. If you don't have paints, use your crayons. Use your colored pencils. Use whatever you have. Because that's the point. You're just creating, right? You're having fun. All right, now I'm going to pick a red. I'm just going to use red from Deco Art Traditions. And I think I'm going to use a smaller brush because that brush is a little crazy. And I'm going to go in and I want the tongue to be bright red. But obviously you don't have to do a tongue, or you could do it pink, whatever color you want. There we go. Let that dry for a second, and then I will do another one. And then what color am I going to do the eyes? I don't know. Let me do a little bit more on that lip. On the tongue, I mean lip. The tongue. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you. I've been doing this for years and years and years and years and years. However, I have been trying to be, and maybe I'm the only one in the world who has done this, but I try to be a little more organized now, where every time I sit down to do another painting or whatever, I put away whatever's sitting here and I pull out what I need. Because what happens is, now I have some things sitting around here that I used the other day, but what happens is that I get so confused with other colors that when I go back to add and do all that, I want to make sure I'm using the same colors. So I've been trying to make an effort to do that, because normally I would have 600 colors here and just pick. I'm trying to be a little bit more selective and a little more organized, because it helps me when I go to do something else. If that makes any sense. I don't know. To me it does, but who am I? All right. Now I think I'm just going to use my pencil here again, and I'm going to go in, and you can use gray paint or black paint or whatever. I'm going to kind of like outline this. See how much it stands out so much better. And you can do this with paint too. You don't have to do this with this kind of pencil. I just want it to stand out. Yeah, just like that. And I'm going to do the same for the nose. And remember, this is water soluble, so you don't exactly know what we're getting, but we're going to be getting something. And then the tongue. Now that might not be dry all the way, but I'm just going to kind of go in there. Use a marker, regular pencil, whatever you want. Now you can see it's kind of choppy, but I'm going to cut it out. And I'm not going to worry about the eyeballs now, the color. I think this pad is about done. Gotta look through that and throw that away, or not throw it away, store it. And now I'm going to take this creature, I'm going to cut it out. Now do this. When you cut this out, or cut anything out, go as close to it as you can, but don't worry about being perfect. But a lot of you ask about putting sayings and whatnot on your paintings, or quotes. And some of you do not have stamps, and I totally get that. Save this. Oh my God, excuse me. Because then you can write, I don't know, let's just write my name, right? But you can go on here and write your name, or write your quote, right? Paint it on here, or trace it with whatever way you want to do it. And then you can just cut this out, right? Cut it out and glue it onto your painting, so you have your real nice quote, but you didn't have to worry about having something to write on acrylic paint or anything like that. And it won't, you know, it won't smear or anything, because you're going to paint it and then cut it out as close as you can to it. And then you just glue that on. Nobody says you have to, you know, always have to stamp or write with a marker or do whatever. I mean, that is a very easy way, and I do that sometimes as well. Depends on how much I want to play or get into the stamping. But if you're just starting out, you can definitely do that. That's what I used to do when I was starting out. So again, I'm just cutting it closer. This is how I do it. Not everybody does it. Maybe it takes too much time for you. But because of my hands, I have to really do it this way. Gotta figure out what I'm going to do with those arms, though. I don't know yet. All right, again, just... Plus, these are great. Take these scraps, put them down, paint them all kinds of different colors, put out 4 colors, paint them, let them dry, and use this in your mixed media. I'm just saying. You know, sometimes you don't have scrapbook paper on you, and you want to do a mixed media background, make your own papers. It's so much fun. I used to do it all the time, and I have some for sale. And, you know, where you get like 10 of the papers for $3, I believe, and you just print them out. Or you could put them on a disc and take them to your local Staples or whatever, Office Depot, office store. And you definitely can get them printed out like that too. Do transfers with them. You can do all kinds of crazy stuff. Great, great stuff. All right, so now I'm going around here. I move my paper more than my scissors because of my hands, but that's just me. I keep saying that. That's just me. That's just me. I got a bunch of these that I'm going to be doing, different animals and just fun stuff. Some of them I've already drawn. And my dog's snoring. That's enjoyable. But I love doing these. And see, it just takes a second. It's not that big a deal. And you don't have to be spot on. You know? You don't even have to put feet. If it's easier for you to just cut it straight across and you don't want to add the feet, don't add the feet. It's up to you. Or just paint your background and then draw this on top. So you can eliminate the cutting altogether. Which sometimes I do. Depends on my mood. Or if I have an idea in my head, like I have this idea, and then I'm like, well, how am I going to do it? How's it going to come out? Things change 20 million times, I swear, when I sit down to do things. And this is fun to do with the kids, too, for them to use their imagination, you know? Okay. And there is my little friend. My little bunny. And you can go back and take out a little bit more, you know, if you have more to take off. Or you could just take your paint and do that. Just snip that off. And snip out here. I want these eyes to be a little more googly. Okay. And there is that little friend. All right, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to trace. Wait, I need pink. I'm going to do pink. Let me find my pink. This is a fluorescent pink. Why do I feel like he would have fluorescent ears? I don't know, but it's kind of where I'm going with it. Again, another color I had sitting here from using it the other day. And I'm just adding some pink in there. Now you could use pink for his little nose too. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Okay. Might need another coat once that's dry, but that's that. All right, so while I let the ears dry and the nose, I'm going to take my marker. Now, Sharpies are great for this. Bics are great for this. Your Copics are great for this. Your anything permanent, even your if you have a Stabilo or a black pen or marker, or you can use your black paint. Just put your paint down. I put like a couple drops of water. Get your thin brush, mush it around, make it a little bit more ink consistency, and then you can do this as well. I'm just going to go in and trace some of these things. And this is permanent marker, but you use whatever you have. I'm going to kind of touch these little feet. I don't know if you guys can see this part. Just line that a little bit, just to make it stand out once we do on the background. I haven't decided the background yet. Sometimes I do this and then the background. Sometimes I do the background and then this. So it depends on what your mood is. Just do your thing. If you don't want to outline, don't outline. It'll just make it, help it stand out a bit more when we do put it. Now you can see I'm working on my non-stick mat, but don't ruin your desk, but I don't care, because if I get it on here, I just wipe it off. But if you're working on your drop sheet or whatever, just add some more stuff to it, because I know a lot of you guys, which I have brown paper underneath this as well that has all kinds of stuff on it, but I know a lot of you use those in your journaling and art. So this just adds to it. Again, you can use your paintbrush. Don't ever feel like you can't do something because you don't have something that somebody else is using. A lot of people, I like craft paint. Not gonna lie, I love my deco art. I love folk art. I love Americana. I love ceramic coat. I love it all, and it's all inexpensive craft paint. And I tell you guys all the time, yeah, some people will do videos. It drives me insane. It does. I've said this, and I've said this 1,000 times. It drives me insane when somebody does a video or is teaching something or whatever, and they say, make sure you buy Golden or Liquitex. Now, I love Golden Liquitex. I have Golden and Liquitex. I love it. It's a great, great product, but it's very expensive, and a lot of people feel intimidated and don't want to or don't have the money to go spend on those products. If you have the money and you're able to buy those products, I say go for it. Go for it, because they're wonderful. They're wonderful, wonderful products. But the deco art and all them, the craft paints that you can get, they're fantastic too. Deco art has fluid acrylics and the mister, the medium misters and all that, and they're fantastic. They're permanent. So you don't have to, if you're starting out, don't feel intimidated because you watch somebody and they say, I'm using Golden or whatever. That just is what they can afford to use. And hey, more power to you. I can't always afford to use them. I know a lot of people can. And I always tell you guys, if it goes on sale and you want to try one, pick a color that you'll know you'll use a lot. You know what I mean? Like out of the rainbow, red, orange, green, yellow, green, blue, purple, black, or white. And do that, and I think it's wonderful. But don't shy away from painting or art journaling or whatever because you can't afford them. Go out and get yourself some deco art, Americana. They have a great line of products. Like I said, so does folk art. I mean, plaid. There's a lot. So don't let that hinder you at all. You know what I mean? I hate that. I get that asked a lot. And I know a lot of people, suggest, and you know what? There's nothing wrong with it. If you can afford it and that's what you use, go for it. And I do use my Golden in that once in a while. But I'm for the thing is don't sit and wait for money to come to you or for you to be quote unquote perfect. It's not going to happen. You're going to wait for the rest of your life. Get out there and do it. So if you can only afford that, by all means, that's what you get. And then go to town playing. That's why I say printer paper, Definitely. Use that. Inexpensive. You go to Walmart, you buy copy paper. If you have friends by you and you guys are all art, you know, wanting to do art and start, go in at like, you know, half or three or how many people there are for the group, and go in and buy a thing of printer paper. You know, what is it, like $5? Everybody do it. Split it 3 ways or how many ever people that you are, and go to town. Go to town. You don't have to have an art journal. Fold the paper and do art journal paper, you know, pages. I get that asked a lot too. I'm going to talk about that at another time, but because things irritate me, I'm going to talk about that now. I'm not doing this to win contests. I'm not doing this to have 6 million subscribers. If that's what I end up with, hey, fantastic. If not, I have a blast. I have a blast doing this. I have a blast with you guys. Oh, you guys are just wonderful. And I like all that you guys do. And I know a lot of you agree with me on, you know, use whatever you can afford. I don't worry about, I mean, just do it. That's why I do giveaways and all. Just do it. Don't wait for things to be perfect, because they never will be. All right. That is my little friend. Now I got to figure out the eyes. Now, I'm not sure if, now that my rant's over. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize I was almost 40 minutes in. I'm sitting here talking in pain. All right, well, let me just finish him up, and then we'll do the background. So I think for his eyes, I'm going to do, and I'm going to use this marker, this pencil, just because it writes on the acrylic, but honestly, use whatever you have. I'm just going to give him pupils. I might do that a little bigger. Let me see. I just want him to have, I just want him to look like kind of crazy. Not crazy, but there are wonderful people on the, the internet and on YouTube, and you know what? If they use Golden and Liquitex and all, but you love what they do, you can definitely get the same colors that they use and start out like that. And maybe one day you'll be able to afford all the good colors. Don't let it intimidate you, because you'll never do it then. All right, I know it's all in my head. My head keeps coming back. All right, so you see my little friend. That is we're gonna have to do a canvas for, and I'm very excited. That's my first in the Odd Girl, Odd Animal series. That's my little bunny. I think I want to take my little bunny's ears, and I'm going to outline it very lightly. And that's all I'm going to do with this now, because I want to put highlights in the little nose and all that kind of stuff. But that'll be once I get it on the canvas. So now I'll just have to make a background. But I'm very excited. So, as always, be kind to each other. You never know about somebody else's fighting. And if you guys do anything like this, just like with the Odd Girl, you guys really went crazy, and I loved watching it. You guys are so fantastic. Let me see what you guys do. And I will be doing the background and putting him together soon, as well as more of these little characters. I have a lot of ideas, so I'm very excited. And I love you guys so very much. You guys just make my heart smile. I just love you guys. And I hope you all have a great, fantastic day and week. And I will see you again in my next video. Bye, guys.